Alright, good afternoon everyone. This is going to be the 11-mile Quebracho loop. This is also known as the Axe Killer. It's named after a Spanish wood that is one of the hardest in the world. So let's take a look at this amazing 11-mile route. So we're going to start over here at the Sedera Park. We're going to start right over here. Okay. Alright, run along the bayou system. Once you come on through this particular spot right here, the tunnel under Spring Green, that's your half mile. You're going to run along the bayou and the lake. You're going to run under or through the tunnel of Cinco Ranch Boulevard. Some of us would have potentially called this the part of the Kolache Loop because there's a Kolache factory over here. Alright, the 1 mile is the final batch of trees before you curl over. Notice I kind of cut it off. I don't want you doing a right angle. Okay. Alright, you're going to continue to run. You'll stay on the east side of this loop. Okay. Or on the west side of Spring Green. Alright, you'll cut off the corner right here. Alright, you'll cut off the corner right here. And then here is your 1.5 miles, which is basically dead even with the second house on the Middle Oak Grove Lane. Then you'll go ahead and continue to train on this western part of this bayou system. On some of these portions, there's areas to run in the grass. I would encourage you to do so. Then the 2 mile is even with this cul-de-sac right here. Alright, and then you'll go ahead and make the curlicue around and the curlicue around, and you'll continue to head along the lake loop. 2.5 mile is even with this final house. Okay, so there we go. If you're going 5 miles, you can turn around right there. Alright, then you're going to continue to progress along the northern portion of the lake. Just after the first of those bridges, this is your 3 mile mark. Okay, alright, downward slope. Right when you get to that lowest point right here, that's your 3 mile mark. Alright, you'll continue to train along the eastern portion. Alright, and then again, you'll come through. As you go through the tunnel of Cinco Ranch Boulevard, that's your 3.5. So if you're going 7, you can make that your out and back run. Then you're going to continue to head along the western portion of this final loop. Okay. As you get back over to the Cedar Grove Park, that's your 4 mile mark. Out and back, following retracing your steps would make that an 8 mile run. Then you're going to again come on back underneath and through the tunnel under Cinco Ranch Boulevard. This time you'll stay on the west side of the bayou system. Your 4.5 mile mark is just before the second of the 2 entrances here. I'm sorry, the third, I should say. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then you're going to continue to head south along this bayou system, and then once you get to the sidewalk to take along the Riverside Loop, alright, you'll get to the 5 mile. The 5 mile mark is just before you go through the tunnel underneath Cinco Ranch Terrace. Split your watch there. Obviously you can make that a 10 if you wanted to retrace your steps. So you're going to continue to train all along the northern side of the Riverside portion of this loop. Okay. 5.5 is just after the Cinco Ranch Park at Oak Forest. curl around. Your 6 mile is just right here at this first sidewalk by Far Hills Drive, and you're going to continue to progress along the south side of the Riverside extension here. 6.5 miles right there. Again, you're going to curl through, go under and through the tunnel. If you wanted to, it's equidistance to take the grass portion over here. Also, keep in consideration along these long stretches, okay, you could also stay up on the grass. That's fine too. But now you're going to head south, okay, and you're going to continue to head south. You're not going to turn at the bridge. Oh, let me make sure I highlight the 7 mile. The 7th mile is even with this first house over here after you go through the Cinco Ranch Terrace Drive. So there's 7 mile marker right there. Okay. Follow the path, take a right, head south. Going to continue to head south. You'll go through the tunnel at South Fry Road, continue to head south along the bayou system, continue to head south. Eventually it will U-turn, and right at the U-turn is your 8 mile mark right there. Alright, then you will continue to head on the east side of the bayou system, and then you will curlicue back through South Fry Road, and this time curlicue back along South Fry Road, and then now you'll be on the east side of the bayou system. Alright, so this time you'll be running on the east side, okay, and your 9 mile mark will be just after the Piermont cul-de-sac, which in this case is the 1, 2, 3, the 4th cul-de-sac, or the final cul-de-sac. Okay, that's your 9 mile mark. Doing a great job at that point in time. And you're going to continue to train along the extension, get back to the lake loop. Once you get to the gazebo, you're getting close to 9.5. There's 9.5 miles at the second house on Springwood Lake Drive. Again, as you're training through this process, it's equidistance. You can either go this path as marked, or you can continue to stay along Springwood Lake Drive, take a left, and head up this direction. Either way, your 10-mile mark will be just when you make the turn to come back through the tunnel of Spring Green Boulevard. There's your 10-mile mark. Once you get through the tunnel of Spring Green Boulevard, you'll take an immediate right, and then you will get on the west side of the bayou system. You can obviously run on the grass. There's large portions of this route you can run on the grass, and I would highly recommend you do that. Alright, and then you'll get to your 10.5, okay, just as you're fixing to make the final left turn along South Fry Road. And I chose along the sidewalk just from a visual standpoint in case we needed to see you. The one concern is this is your one intersection you'll cross, okay, and then you will ultimately end just after the Ivory Lake cul-de-sac. Okay, stop, walk back, get your water, all that good stuff. So there's plenty of areas here to get on the grass throughout this run. This is the Axe Killer.